Hey y'all. So I want to make a video and tell you guys why I have faith in Christianity, why I'm a Christian, why I believe, and why I will never stop believing. And to do that, I'm going to need to tell you guys a little bit about myself, tell you guys about my past a little bit, and a little bit about how I came into this planet and my physical situation. If that's okay with you guys, that I get a little bit personal, I'd love to tell you guys a story. And the reason why I want to tell you this is because the other day I made a post. I didn't make the meme myself, but I posted a meme about TV preachers, and there's some that they really they help people, and that's great. If they help people, that's fine. If they help you, that's great. But for me, I don't believe in profiting off of Christianity. I don't believe in people selling Bibles. I understand that it takes money to print a Bible. It takes money, but I don't believe that that message should be sold. The uh, the post about those TV preachers is exactly what Jesus got mad about and tossed the temple tables because they're profiting in the church. And that's not good, right? Anyway, people got on there and people were saying religion is terrible and God doesn't exist. And I got into this discussion, as I always do, and I was trying to tell them a little bit about myself and why I believe, and they said, "Well, you can't base your faith on medical advances." Okay, now I want to tell you guys about that because I was born 4 months premature. I weighed 1 pound 11 ounces. The doctors told my mother that she needed to just give me to them and let me expire because they couldn't do anything for me. They said I'm just gonna die anyway, and thankfully they thought that, and I survived, and I was put in an incubator for quite some time because I wasn't fully developed. My lungs weren't developed all the way. I've got weak lungs, but they're usable. They're good. I can run and shoot. I've got asthma, but my lungs are great. So there's that. And then I also had uh, retinopathy of prematurity, and I had something in my eye, something wrong with my eye. They took me back to do the pre-op scan, and they didn't find anything in my eye. They're like, okay, well, we don't need to do the surgery now because his eye's just fine. My eyes are great. They told my mother that I would be blind, retarded, and I would never walk. And they said medical science can't help that, right? They told my mom straight up. They said he's going to be blind, retarded, and never walk. Thankfully, that's not true. That's not true. God has blessed me with intelligence for the most part. I do stupid shit like everybody. Um, he's blessed me with articulation. He's blessed me with speech. Um, I'm not blind, so it's the thing about medical science. Medical science does amazing things. Okay, I've had surgeries on my legs, um, and the thing about me is I have cerebral palsy. Okay, for those of you that don't know what CP is, cerebral palsy is brain damage in the back of your cerebral cortex. And what it does is it affects all your skeletal muscles, your hands, legs, feet, arms, mouth, your speech, your throat, the way when you swallow. It affects all of those muscles. Now, when I lift my hand up, half my muscles in my body are pushing. I'm sorry, half my muscles in my hand are pushing my hand back down. It fights against me. So every time I do anything, my muscles fight against each other. Now, most people that have this condition, they're in a wheelchair and they can't walk, they can't move. It's terrible. It's horrible. Medical science can't do anything for these people. They're still stuck in a wheelchair. They can't articulate. They have trouble with speech because of the way that their muscles in their throat and their mouth. And I feel for these people so much. But medical science has no cure for it. They got no way to help these people. And in my situation, I'm very blessed, very very blessed. I can run, can do all kinds of things with my hands. I can turn my hand like this. I used to couldn't do that when I was a little kid. To get candy, I had to get physical therapy to be able to turn my hand over. Stir a cup of Kool-Aid, couldn't do that. I've had you know so much with my body. Like I can shoot a traditional bow, and I don't use sights. I don't use attachments. I don't use release aid. I shoot traditional, and I'm pretty good at it. I'm blessed so much. I can articulate and speak to you guys. There's so much that medical science can't explain about my situation. Most people with CP, that's not so. It's a very rare, a very rare that somebody born 4 months premature, 1 pound 11 ounces, has hardly any medical issues. There's so many medical problems that come out from that. But I was being prayed over pretty heavily, and it's just it's wonderful. It's a beautiful thing, and there's things that I'm so thankful for every day. And, thankful. I'm thankful, so thankful for my body and what I can do with it. Um, Medical science can't explain that, and that's why I have faith in Jesus. Now, when you post something about Jesus, especially, it's really bad around Christmas time. There's always a bunch of atheists that pop in there and jump on you, tell you that you're wrong. And most of the time, the atheists, the first thing they bring up is the Crusades. Now, I've never not believed in Jesus. I've been taking myself to church since I was a toddler. But, sorry, I almost knocked this cup off the table here. When I was a toddler, I would take myself on the church bus, take myself to church. And when I got older and started researching things really heavily, I've always been pretty big on reading the Bible and doing Bible studies and memorizing scripture, things like that. Because one day we won't have the Bible anymore. They're going to take that from us, and you got to know it. You got to know it in your mind and your heart, and you got to keep it. And so I learned about the Crusades. Okay, one day, and it threw me for a loop. I was like, "What? That's terrible. It's horrible. These things are horrible. They slaughtered so many people, right? In the name of God, in the name of Christianity. They slaughtered so many people. I had such a hard time with that. I've been in all those people's shoes that I have a hard time with Crusades because I had a hard time. But the thing is, man does not represent God and who Christ is and what the religion is about. Man can say that they are a Christian and do some terrible things. That doesn't mean they're representing Christianity in a correct way, right? That doesn't mean that I represent it in a correct way, even though I have good intentions, But the point of the Crusades, I'm getting all excited. Sorry. The point of the Crusades is, the Jews needed to be liberated. They were oppressed terribly. They needed their home back. Their home was taken from them. Their promised land was taken from them. They needed it back. We needed to give that back to them, help them get it back. It's important. It's very important. Now, if Christianity turns out that Christianity is not true, and my pastor says this quite a bit, and I've believed this for a very long time. If Christianity isn't true, then at least I've lived my life with happiness in my heart and compassion and love, true compassion and true love. The Bible, if you read the Bible, whether you're non-believer or you believe, Christians nowadays are different from people in the Crusades. Christians nowadays are about peace and loving each other. That's the most important thing. And the Bible is a very good roadmap to true love and compassion for one another. That's what it teaches me, and that's what I take from it. Now, it's very important to me to be a loving, good man, okay? I want to be a loving husband to my wife one day. When I finally get a wife, I want to be a wonderful husband, wonderful father, a wonderful, loving, compassionate, good man. And Christianity helps me with that. And if it's not real, I haven't wasted my time at all, because I've got those foundation things that are amazing, and the world is losing compassion. They're losing compassion. They're losing love for one another. I'm really into the politics stuff, and it gets pretty heated. And I don't represent Christ correctly all the time. I'm just human. But if turns out, and you can't say Christ wasn't real, because so many other religions acknowledge Christ's existence. So that for me, when I was going through all that crusade stuff, that for me showed me that, hey, I can't disbelieve in Jesus. He was a real man for sure. He was real for sure. Now, Christianity is a religion. It like I say, it teaches me love. And if it turns out to be fake, turns out to be just a exaggerated story, that's still okay with me, because It's molded my heart. It's molded my character. It's molded me as a man. I know who I am as a man, who I am going to be as a husband. And that's what's important to me. I'm happy with that. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And I love you guys.